Here's my ballot for ATU757 president. That's Henry Beasley and Christopher Day. It's interesting. I found it interesting that their names were both in the first position. Maybe it's a sign from God. Anyway, I voted for them last time around, and but I was okay. I was okay with Shirley and John winning the election. I thought that would be okay for the rest of us. And then things started to proceed and function, and some of you may be aware that the best ever ATU757 watchdog is Christopher Day, who's really watching them like I watch TriMet, actually. So they started doing business, and apparently it was business as usual there, which means tyranny, okay? You know, shut up, I'm doing it my way, and we're going to avoid following the bylaws, okay? There are several instances of, from what I understand, it wouldn't be illegal. What would be the word? They're not operating by the bylaws. I mean, there's no legal fix for that, but it's still not. You're not supposed to do that. Now, what do we do as members when we see them not operating by the bylaws? Well, you go to the international. Then what do you do if the international doesn't want to do anything about it? Well, then you have a mess, okay? This isn't the reason why the election is being re-won, but this is a further documentation of why I vote for Henry and Chris, because John and Shirley and Bruce operate the union in a very heavy-handed manner. Okay, it's a very heavy-handed operation. And John apparently has loads of enemies, more enemies than me even, I think. And there's kind of a complete lack of accountability with Shirley and John and Mary. And that's from, that's not my first-hand information, but I have very reliable information about things that are happening there. So kind of, I want to defend Shirley and John. And I'm not happy about this re-election at all. I think it's very damaging for us as union members. I'm very upset about it, but be it as it may, John and Shirley kind of got themselves into this mess, okay? You can't just say, oh, it's Bruce who's agitating. No, it's that you guys aren't following the rules. We wouldn't be having this new election right now if you guys had been following the rules. Am I right? I mean, something you did over there caused this election, because it wasn't out here. And none of us out here could figure out what it was, because you're not going to tell the members. I'm talking about Shirley and John. You're not going to tell the members, and the Department of Labor isn't going to tell me. All we get is that letter, that says we've made an agreement, so nobody has to say shit. It's your typical government institutional stymie there. You can't. They have total control of this process, and we have no control of this process. It shows it illustrates for me the helplessness of the union member here. Okay, now that leads me to why I already voted for them the first time, but the second time it's even more important. If you want to get out of this never-ending fight, I don't think Bruce, no. I mean, if Bruce gets in, I suppose I'll have to support him, but I can't really think of any reason to support him. I mean, he's a great guy. His strategy was give them what they wanted, and the next negotiation was going to be on our side, but we can already see that's not true now. Is that because they just want to mess with the so-called Heinzman Block crowd? They want Bruce. See, once again, we see that we don't control that process either. That's all TriMet. So it's time for something different. I'm voting. I don't know what I'm going to do if this election, I don't know what to tell you. If John and Shirley win, everybody needs to get off their back and leave them alone for the next two. Just say, you guys get to run it your way. Nobody is going to challenge you, okay, because this is enough here. If they win this election, if it's Henry and Chris, it's a whole new goddamn ball game, okay? We have a whole new show to watch, and I guarantee you it's going to be different. Hopefully we can pull it off here. You know, this is the era of dissatisfied politics. I mean, even on the national scale, you see Trump and you see Sanders, because people are sick of the same old people. And that applies right here to our union. Okay, we're tired of the same old people. I'm tired of looking at Bruce, and I'm tired of looking at John. And I have a lot of respect for John because of the way he handled those demonstrations. But I'm going to vote for somebody new here. And let's see what happens, man, because TriMet's gunning for us. And, you know, they're doing a good job wiping us out so far. I don't know if anybody can stop them at this point.